He's got a name that it's a very important name. Ishmael, HaShem gonna hear him. This is why Borei Olam, he knew that they have such a strong name, so he took the peh from them, the mouth from them. They don't have peh, they don't have mouth. Even though that Borei Olam can hear their prayers, but they're not davening. They doesn't have a peh.
That's awesome. Once who built the Tower of Babel, Nimrod and all those that worked, what did they do? The idea was to fight against HaShem.
Yes.
And they had, and Nimrod gave them orders that they were, while they're working, in order to speak
Kfirot.
not just kfirot, but also a foul language. A very foul language, the fouler the better, in order to defile their minds, so they could pull energy from the dark side.
Yes.
And that gives us why how a person's speech.
Because after Babel, the Borei Olam created all of the language.
All the language were being because of that.
All right. So, Shu Lashon Targum. So that language is the language of translation. כשאין מעלין אותו ללשון הקודש כנ"ל, when we're not rising it to the holy language like we learned. When people chas shalom using the foreign language not to translate, they can be damaged by that language. This is why that if we are talking in a different language, and we said that also Hebrew today, it's a different language. Hebrew, it's not Lashon HaKodesh. Hebrew, Baruch Hashem, is very far from Lashon HaKodesh today. Lashon HaKodesh, we said that the only thing that we have that we can understand what it means, Lashon HaKodesh, it means when you're talking only Divrei Torah and Divrei Tfilah, learning and davening. This is what it means, Lashon HaKodesh. We know that Lashon HaKodesh, Rabbeinu said that when a person is making his hitbodedut, and he's in his hitbodedut, he's canceling himself to Borei Olam. So actually, it's Borei Olam that is putting the words inside of his mouth. So actually, all of his diburim is in Lashon HaKodesh. It's Ruach HaKodesh. It's in Ruach HaKodesh. Divine Spirit. He's canceling himself. He's talking to Borei Olam. Borei Olam, whatever you like, whatever you want, Borei Olam, help me, let me serve you like you want me to serve you. So he's not there. That person is not there at all. So all of the diburim, Rabbeinu is revealing to us in Likutei Moharan that all of the diburim, he's getting them from a divine spirit. It's a divine spirit. So in divine spirit, it means Ruach HaKodesh. Borei Olam is talking from his mouth, like David HaMelech. Borei Olam is talking through that person's mouth. So, in the Bodedut, Rabbeinu taught us that we should daven in our own language, in Yiddish, in English, in Spanish, in Hebrew, everyone be the language that is more comfortable for him to talk. ¿Cómo estás?
Señor.
¿Cómo estás, Señor? It's wonderful. It's the best. It's the best. So you see that Ruach HaKodesh, that Lashon HaKodesh, can be in a certain way in all of the languages. Understand? So the main thing is how to fix Lashon HaKodesh is to watch our thoughts, our minds, our diburim, speeches, to be only in Torah and Tfilah. You also have grace to make. You need to help someone, to ask someone if he needs help. It's all Torah and Tfilah. It's the same. You're making the Torah now. You're doing mitzvot. It's not a problem. To make mitzvot, to do the mitzvot now, it's not a problem.
Why did Hashem give Korach then to the people? Like sometimes you watch a series and they translate the filth that the Goyim said in English into Hebrew and on the bottom.
Why they're doing it? Why
No. Why did he give them the Korach for them?
Because
everything comes from him.
Borei Olam is giving a lot of power to the Sidra Achra, because we're not waking up in a small alarm. If someone's going to come to you when you're sleeping and tell you, Mordechai, it's morning, wake up, you're going to snore until 11 p.m. But if someone is shouting, Mordechai, you're going to wake up immediately. So on us that we fell into deep sleep, Borei Olam knows that we cannot wake up without those heating that he's bringing. So he needs to give them power that they're going to be able to threat us. They cannot threat us. If we are strong, threaten us. If we are that strong, no one can threaten us. So we're not afraid, we're not waking up. Vayishman Yeshurun Veivrat. The person become to be fat and comfortable and everything is wonderful. No one's going to rebuke him. But when someone is standing in front of you and he's strong also, so you're waking up to do tshuva. This is why Borei Olam is giving us, Baruch Hashem, all of that hard time, Baruch Hashem, real hard time that we have in this generation, real hard time that we have in this generation. Yes, so Rabbeinu continue, עושה דברו לשמוע בכל דברו. The tzaddikim, they're making the diburim of Hashem Yitbarach to make the diburim of Hashem Yitbarach. שהצדיק עושה הדיבור וכולי. That the tzaddik, he is making the diburim of Hashem Yitbarach. Like we said, that Borei Olam is leading. No. Tzaddik, he is led. He is led by the tzaddik. The tzaddik, he's got the power to lead Borei Olam. With his thoughts, with his tefillot, tzaddik gozer, והקדוש ברוך הוא מקיים. Tzaddik is making a decree. Borei Olam have to listen to his decree. We know that story about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. That Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai went with his son Elazar, and they saw an angel huge as a mountain that had 30 flames of fire coming out from his mouth. And they asked him, "What are you doing here?" They saw that the world is dark. They went out to see what's going on, and then they saw a mountain, dark mountain, walking. They asked him, Rabbi Shimon asked him, "What are you doing here?" So he said, "I came to destroy the world." So Rabbi Shimon told him, "Go to Hashem Yitbarach and tell him that Rabbi Shimon is here and that he will not destroy the world." So that angel went to Borei Olam and told him, "Listen, Borei Olam, Rabbi Shimon told me not to destroy the world. Should I listen to him?" Borei Olam told him, "No, don't listen to Rabbi Shimon. Go and destroy the world." And he came back. Rabbi Shimon saw him, came back, told him, "What? You're not afraid? What?" Rabbi Shimon was like a small dot standing in front of that huge, dark, flaming mountain. Told him, why you came back? He said, "Borei Olam told me that I'm going to destroy the world, and I came to do that." Told him, "Tell Borei Olam that if he needs 30 tzaddikim in the generation, there is 30 tzaddikim. If he needs 20, there is 20. They are enough to save the world. If not, there is 10. And if you don't say that there is even 10, you have those two. It's me and Elazar, my son. And if those two are not strong, so you have me." Every time he's saying that they are stronger, those 20 are stronger than the 30. Those 10 are stronger than the 30, than the 20. And he and his son, he's saying, "If we're not enough, so you have me." And then he said, "So you have me alone." And the verse is saying, "V'tzadik yesod olam." The tzaddik is the foundation of the world. When he said that, Borei Olam, with the bat kol, said, "Ashrecha Rabbi Shimon, that you are so ahuv, loved to Borei Olam. Borei Olam loves you so much, and with your privilege, Borei Olam will not going to destroy the world. With the privilege of a tzaddik, one tzaddik." And Rabbi Shimon said that he's got the power to exempt all of the world from verdicts, from judgment, from all kinds of dinim. And there is it's not. No, it's a good question. First of all, it's written that Am Yisrael cannot receive the Torah if they're not azim, if they're not rude in a certain way. Azut dikdusha, it's chutzpah dikdusha. There is chutzpah dikdusha. Borei Olam is saying to Moshe Rabbeinu, "I'm going to destroy Chas Shalom, all of that nation." And Moshe Rabbeinu is standing in front of Borei Olam and telling him, "It's me or them. If you want to kill them, kill me first." It is also chutzpah. It's also chutzpah. What are you talking to Borei Olam? Borei Olam is saying, "I want to do something, and you're standing on the way." And Rabbeinu said that we have to have that chutzpah also. Rabbeinu said, "Ech אנחנו נותנים לקדוש ברוך הוא." How we let Borei Olam made so many decrees. How can we let him? This is what Rabbeinu told us to his students. How can we let Borei Olam having so many decrees? We should stop him. How are we going to stop him? We're going to hold Borei Olam and we're going to stand in the field and we're going to say, "Borei Olam, turn over to me, look at me." And when a person, a Jew, is saying something like that, Borei Olam is stopping. Rabbeinu said all of that, it's written in Chayei Moharan. When a person is saying that to Borei Olam immediately dropping all of the decrees and the verdicts that he's working on now, gozer gzerot, like Chas Shalom, we don't know what's going on, and he's turning over and he's saying, "Yes, what you want to say." And now you need to tell him, please, Borei Olam, no more decrees, no more car accidents, no more divorce, no more bachelors, no more I don't know what, and standing. And Rabbeinu said that when a person like that is standing, Borei Olam not going to leave him. And there's going to be no decree in the world in that time. This is why we need to do our Sha'at Bodedut daily and not to sleep our Sha'at Bodedut. To be awake, you have 1 Sha'ah a day, 1 hour a day. In that hour, try to be awake. So if you see that every day you're tired in your Sha'at Bodedut, maybe try to change the time of that Sha'at Bodedut. Maybe find a time that it's going to be better for you. Maybe daven on that. I heard that Rav Berland, we know that Likutem in Rabbeinu is saying in Torah Nun Bet, and the Or Balayla, the person that is waking up at night and going to the fields and is davening hours and hours. So Rabbeinu is teaching us over there that we need to take a certain thing that we lack of, or a desire that we, Chas Shalom, stuck in, and to work on that for a long period of time until you're going to achieve that, until you're going to break that lust that you have. And work only on that for a long period of time. So, Harav Shalom told us all to daven every day, to daven half an hour on Shmirat HaEinayim, on Kedusha, on Tikkun HaBrit. This is on guarding our eyes. This is what Rav Shalom told all of us, all of his students need to do that, Be'ezrat Hashem. And in that shiur he said also that if now the student that I told him to do 1 hour on Simcha, going to come to on happiness, going to come to me and going to tell me, but Rav, what should I do? So also to you I'm saying now in this shiur, that you should do half an hour on Shmirat HaBrit. You need to do half an hour on Tikkun HaBrit. You want to daven on another thing? It's your free choice. You can daven 2 hours a day. You're allowed to do 2 hours in Bodedut a day. No one is stopping you, Chas v'Shalom, for davening 2, 3, 4 hours a day. It's allowed. But the main thing is Kedushat HaBrit. And I heard that Rav Berland, I don't know, 50, 60, 50 years ago, when he decided to make that thing, I don't know, I don't have I heard it once. It's not, I don't have a proof on that, but I heard that the first thing that Rav Berland took to work on is to love the tefillah. That I'm going to love davening to you, Hashem Yitbarach. This was the thing that he was davening, the first thing. And when he conquered that, when he achieved that, now everything is open. You're davening to Borei Olam, that I'm going to love to daven on Am Yisrael. That when I'm going to see a Jew, I'm going to daven on him. It's going to be in my heart. That you're going to give me nice tefillah to daven. That I'm not going to be tired when I'm davening. It's written Tefillah le'el chayai. Rabbeinu is saying that the life, and this is David HaMelech saying that the life we're receiving from the tefillah. And Rabbeinu is saying in Likutei Moharan, Ikar achiyut mekablim min tefillah. The main part of life you receive from davening. So that I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel the taste of davening. Standing in front of Borei Olam. In Rosh Hashanah we can feel it. In Yom Kippur we can feel it. Once in a while we feel something about the tefillah. But only because it's closed all of the rest of the year. So we need to daven. If you're standing and davening and knocking on the door again and again, daily, every day, knocking and knocking and knocking, in the end they're going to open. In the end, Borei Olam going to open. You beg to Borei Olam. It's not that you're forcing Borei Olam. You're just begging, Borei Olam, please have mercy on Am Yisrael. Have mercy on me, that I'm going to daven to you, that I'm going to be a righteous man, that I'm going to serve you right, like you want me to. And Rabbi Natan told us that Rabbeinu told him that on spiritual things, Rabbi Natan is writing that in his Likutei Tefillot, that it's rude even to ask from Borei Olam to help us in our condition. Who brought you to your condition? You done all of your averot, all of your mistakes. You done it all. Now you're telling to Borei Olam, give me the power to watch my eyes, to guard my eyes. Give me kedusha, give me happiness. You spoil it all. You ruin everything. And now you want Borei Olam to give you parnasah and yeshuot and everything. How can you ask that? But Rabbi Natan told us in Likutei Tefillot, he's showing it there, he's davening it, that even though Borei Olam, that we know that we're not worthy, that tzaddikim, the real tzaddikim told us that you want us to daven on everything, and even on the highest spiritual levels of them all. In physical, in Gashmiyut, if you want to daven to purchase that hotel, so why are you doing that? Why? If you have spiritual reasons, so it's allowed. You can daven that Borei Olam, I'm going to give that hotel to the yeshiva, to Rav Shalom, the spiritual things, you're allowed to daven. But if you're davening on yourself that you're going to be rich, for no reason, not because you want to make tzedakot. If it's because you want to make tzedakot, wonderful, you're allowed to daven because it's spiritual. On spiritual things, we're allowed to daven on the top, on the maximum, things that you can never imagine. Borei Olam, tell me things, teach me things that I'm not aware of. I'm asking you, Borei Olam, take me to places that I'm not aware of them. Please, let me be holy, let me be a tzaddik, let me be happy, totally happy. Give me ruach hakodesh that I'm never going to make mistakes in my avodat Hashem. You can ask everything spiritually, you can daven to Borei Olam and everything. Why? Because Borei Olam, He wants to give. It's not a problem. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in the love of Borei Olam to us. So we assume that it's not going to be the right thing to ask. But no, it is. And there is times that you should demand, that you should stand and say, Borei Olam, help me in that. There's no other choice, Borei Olam. It's me or them. You can stand like Moshe Rabbeinu to say, Borei Olam, you have to save my house now. I ruin everything. Now, Chas Shalom, people standing in front of, I don't know what, divorce, I don't know what. A person can stand in his pressure because of his stress in front of Borei Olam and to demand. If he really is honest with Borei Olam that he wants to do tshuva, that he regrets. It's not a person that, Borei Olam, no, fix this, fix that. No. Talking about a person that really, he wants to change. He understands his mistake. And he can stand to Borei Olam and say to Borei Olam, please, based on that I'm doing tshuva, forgive me. Forgive me. I know that I'm far from tshuva. I know that I'm not worthy for nothing. But I'm begging Borei Olam, because that you love me so much. Because of Abraham, because of Yitzchak, because of Yaakov Avinu. You can ask, you can demand, Borei Olam, save Am Yisrael. No more car accidents, no more divorce, no more sicknesses, no more cancer, no more. Borei Olam, this is it, you allow. If really you're talking from your heart, you can do that. It's not a problem. In the field, what's the problem? In front of Borei Olam, you can say whatever you have in your heart. This is what Siyata Dishmaya in Hitbodedut. When you know that your Hitbodedut is successful, when you're talking to Borei Olam, like you're talking to your best friend. With your best friend, you can say, hello, what's going on? Need your help? Wake up, please. You can say that to Borei Olam. You need to have a lot of honor to your friend. You need to have a lot of honor to Borei Olam. But sometimes you see disasters, things, horrible things happening. You can go to Borei Olam and complain. Borei Olam, what's going on? Please, we're trying to do tshuva. What do you want from us? We're doing all of our effort. We come to the yeshiva daily, every day, davening, begging. Borei Olam, what's going on? You're allowed to ask. Everyone that is telling me what Borei Olam gonna answer to the question, why was the Holocaust, why the Holocaust happened, to everyone I'm saying, don't worry. You're gonna hear the answer. Borei Olam, you're gonna ask him, he's gonna answer you. If you have the vessels to deal with it, you're gonna get the answer. Borei Olam is not afraid to deal with no question. He's got the courage to answer to every question. There was one person that asked that question to Borei Olam. He asked that question in a psychological treatment, in the middle of hypnosis. He asked that question to Borei Olam. He saw himself standing in front of Borei Olam in his hypnosis, and he asked Borei Olam. And in the moment that he asked that question, he saw that the face of the SS soldier changed to be his face. He saw that he's that soldier. What is the meaning of all of that? What it means? What it reflects? No one knows nothing. It's not time to, but everyone gonna see. Suddenly he was in the other side. Suddenly he saw that he is the one that is killing. He saw that, he wrote that. He published that in a book. So we need to understand, Borei Olam, he's got the answer for each and every one of us. We know in Rabbeinu, Likutei Moharan Rabbeinu is saying that there is no verdict in this world that is coming out in the end to Bafoal, to be, without the agreement, the haskama, improvement of all of the people in the world. Borei Olam is so huge that every judgment, every din that he decides to make, he's asking each and every one of us, what is your opinion on that? How he's doing that? He's covering it. Like the Navi covered from David HaMelech. And he asked David HaMelech a story about a person that stolen a sheep from a poor person. And David HaMelech told him, Ish Mavet Hu, you should kill that person. So the Navi, Natan HaNavi, told him, you are that person. You took that woman from that person. That woman, it was the sheep. That person, it was him. That poor guy, it was him. You can have a lot of wives. You have 18 wives. A king can have 18 wives, and he can have only one. So he's that poor because he can marry only one. You understand? So Borei Olam is hiding. If someone now is asking you a question, what do you think about that mean person, Rasha, damned, Arur, that he is torturing Am Israel, he's doing horrible things? What is your opinion about him? He's going to ask you about Ishmaeli, he's going to ask you about an Arabi, about an Arab person. And he's going to say, kill him. If Chas Shalom, you have midot, that we can ask you about that person and actually it's like you, because you're also acting like that in a certain situation. So that decree that you said right now, you told that Chas Shalom on yourself. This is how Borei Olam is hiding things. This is why we need to watch our mouth. Like I said in the beginning, Baruch Hashem. Look how important is the mouth. We're not allowed to say no bad thing about no one. You don't know who are you talking about. You can talk about your brothers, you can talk about your wife, you can talk about your kids, Chas Shalom. You can talk about yourself, you can talk about your Rebbe, you don't know nothing. You don't know who are you talking about. We're not controlling on ourselves, we have to understand that. We are poor, we're very, very weak and poor and small. We're not so clever, but everyone thinks that he can answer and he can say his opinion. Alright, you're talking about yourself now. All of this world haven't been created except for one reason, for you. All of this world is for you, for you, for you, for me. For each and every one of us, this world, all of the world created just for you. So everything is coming to teach you things about yourself. If you're saying bad things on someone, so you're saying those bad things about yourself because you recognize those bad things only because you have them inside. If it was something that you're not familiar with, you would never be so angry about it. But you know that you have that bad midah inside also. This is why it's hurting you so much. Because you know that you're acting also like that to your son. That you love him so much and you're angry about yourself. This is why when you see a person that is acting like that to his son or to someone else that he is like your son, you're angry at him. You say you should punish him because you hate yourself. Because you have problems with yourself. This is why you hate so many things, because you have so many problems. We have so many problems with ourselves. So this is what we need to fix. Like Rav Shalom said, you want to help people to do tshuva? Do tshuva. This is our job. If a person really wants to serve HaShem Yitbarach, serve HaShem Yitbarach. So deal. Go to the field. Confess to Borei Olam. Tell Borei Olam, reveal me who I am. Tell me who I am. I want to know who really I am. If I have so many bad midot, let me deal with them, Borei Olam. Give me the power to deal with them. That I will not collapse because of the fact that I'm so far from you. Let me understand it slowly, slowly. Give me the vessels. Give me the right advice. Every time that I'm going to have the right advice. Sometimes you need to run away from bad thoughts. Sometimes you need to fight. Sometimes you need to think something else. Every time there is an advice. Sometimes you just need to hold on, to breathe. Just to hold on, to survive. Rav Berland said, one came to Rav Berland, he told him, Rav, I don't know what to do. He told him, the test that you have in your life is only one. Don't suicide. Don't kill yourself. This is your test in life. He said that to few avrechim. There is people in this generation that this is their test. I know one friend of us in the yeshiva that he told me that he had periods of time in his life in the beginning of his tshuva that for a few months he was making shev ve'al ta'aseh, sit and don't do, about killing himself. He was a bachelor, a ravak with problems in his life, mental problems, fears, charadot, how you say charadot? Anxieties. And he was mamash, he had a desire, mamash, a strong will to kill himself. He was sitting and holding himself, mamash, holding himself for months. Think about that. It can be. People are suffering in this generation. This is why we need to have a lot of patience for them and for ourselves. Also for yourself. You see that you're sinning, you see that you do so many mistakes, that you're rebuking your wife even that you heard so many times that it's not allowed. have patience, also for yourself. You're not an angel. No one is expecting you to be an angel. We understand it. Rav understand it. Rabbeinu understand it. Borei olam lo ba bitrunya im briotav. He's not complaining on the creatures. He know our Yetzer Hara. He knows that you have a Yetzer Hara. What can you do? 20 years you were living in the house of your father. He was rebuking your mother day and night. And you admired him, and you loved him, and you didn't have no knowledge, and you haven't learned nothing else, and all of the stupid movies, and I don't know what, and in the army, and everyone with his stupid story, coming from reality that it's wrong. So you see the results now on yourself. What can you do? You ruin your kids, chas v'shalom, in few matters in your life. There is things that you're rebuking, you're breaking your kids. What can you do now? Can you change in a day? You can change. Rabbeinu said that if He's going to remove the Yetzer Hara from us, we're going to die. We're so attached to the Yetzer Hara that it's a problem. Like Rav Shalom explained. Why? Rav Shalom explained that you heard it from Rav Ovadia Yosef. That all of the reason why Borei Olam is saying to us that He's fighting with Amalek, all of the generations, it's not because it's hard for Borei Olam to kill Amalek. He's just going to say, die Amalek, and you're going to die Amalek. This is it. It's not a problem. Why He's saying that He's fighting in a generation? Because He knows that He cannot kill him in one day. If you're going to kill him, we're going to collapse with him. We are so attached to the Amalek. We are attached to the Amalek. We admire Amalek. It's a story also. Sorry that we're talking again about the Holocaust. But there was a story, I read it in a book, a young boy that the family were very far from Judaism, Jews, but they were
assimilated.
That. And he said, and he told that about himself, that when the Nazis came to the city, he was admiring them, he loved them. And when they were hitting him, he felt bad, he started to hate the Jews. Because now they're blaming him that he's like them. And he wants to be like them. He wants to be like the Nazis. Because all of his childhood, they told him the German nation are so important. And now the German came with their uniform and everything. Everyone is cheering up. He wants to be like the Goyim. What can he do, that poor guy? And when even he survived the Holocaust, he hates the Jews. He hates the religious people. He's blaming the Haredim on the Holocaust. What can you do? There is people like those now in Eretz Israel. What can you do? What can you do? You need to understand them. There's nothing to do. You need to love them. You need to hug them. You need to tell them that they're right. You need to daven on them. That Borei Olam is going to help them to climb out from their sorrow, from their mistakes. What can you do? You can blame the Jews on the Holocaust. It's wonderful. It's a chidush. It's a nice chidush.
Are you supposed to hate them?
Who's?
Those people, a person like that, you're supposed to hate?
Just said no.
No, the people that have problem with us, that they're blaming us,
Like the Nazi,
Jews.
Jewish Nazi, yeah.
If they have, I'm not talking about Jewish Nazi. If there is a person that he's really going with it, so it's a problem. Of course, that it's like a meshumal. But if you have someone that this is his education, this is what he learned. This is his education. He learned from his father, from his mother, that you need to love Chas Shalom, the German nation. That you need to love the Ishmaelim in Eretz Israel. You need to give them. His father, his mother, they were Smolanim. What can you do? They want to do that. They're willing to sell their daughters. He's a poor person. He's a young boy, and he's a Tinok Shenishba, and he mistake. He don't know. And he's talking from that place, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't understand. We need to understand that he's just a poor person, that he's suffering so much in his life. He doesn't have no connection to the light, to Borei Olam, to the connection that we have in Am Yisrael, how much we're different from all of the nations. He doesn't grab that. He doesn't feel that. It's a very poor person. So in a person like that, we need to daven. If there is someone now that is doing damage, of course we need to stop him. It's halakha. But if you see a person just, I don't know what, going to the scouts and he's talking nonsense, so okay, we understand him. He's suffering. It's not his fault. He heard so many nonsense all of the time in television. How many horrible things he's saying about me, about us. We're not doing nothing. We're not doing nothing. We're not taking more money from the state. We're not doing nothing. Every time that I'm telling to, where is that place that you take the money from the state? I never heard about it. 10 years in Tshuva, Haredim are stealing. Where is that place? Never found it. No one that I'm familiar with never found that source of taking money from the Medina. What are you taking? All of us, we have problems of Parnassah. All of us, we have problems. What, the Bituach Leumi? How much you getting for every child? 300 shekels? 400 shekels? It's craziness, it's shigaon, it's madness.
Yes, for one day.
This is what we need to understand. That we just need to bond ourselves to Am Yisrael and to understand Am Yisrael and to understand ourselves. You have Yetzer Hara. It's not your fault that you have Yetzer Hara. When you have V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, you need to love your friend as you love yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to understand yourself. You have to really appreciate yourself, that with all of that Yetzer Hara, all of your childhood, all of that craziness that entered into your life, you still want to serve HaShem. You have that will to change yourself, to learn something new, to fix your midot, even if it takes time. On that time, we don't have a problem with it. It's a natural thing that it's going to be. You're so used to the mistakes, to the averot, to the anger, to your trauma, that you act as a person that came out of trauma. It's a trauma. All of our life, it's trauma. It's after an accident. It's after trauma. It's a trauma. It's a terrible accident. All of our lives, it's a terrible situation. We suffered so much in our childhood, even with no one else to do bad things to us. The reality. Learning in Chilonim school or the religious school in the United States, it's also not something. So it's bad education. It's bad education. And with bad education, this is what it is growing. If you're not going to water the plant like it should have water in the beginning, and going to save him in the winter and save him in the summer, you're going to be very thin and very lazy and very tired and can break very easily. And this is us. Every small thing we insulted. Every small thing we become furious, angry. Well, no, yes, no, fighting immediately. Immediately, a person can kill in a minute. Why? Because he's in trauma. He's after shock. He's after trauma. He needs help. He needs treatment. He needs the fields, to go to the fields, go for a walk in the fields, talk to Borei Olam, benachat, quietly. When it's day, when it's light, there's butterflies, and smiling. Going with the friends to the fields, once in a while to Rabbi Shimon, going to the lake, once in a while, mikveh. We need to have a good life. Without good life, there is no answer for this generation. This generation cannot suffer anymore. We're not waking up from suffering also. We're not. There is a lot that is waking up, but there is a lot that even falling in a worse condition. After all of those terrorism bombings and things like that, people are falling. It's pushing a lot of people away. Problems of Parnassah, pushing a lot of people that want to do tshuva. Problems of Parnassah, they say, I cannot deal with it. I have to go back to work. So he's leaving the yeshiva because of problems of Parnassah. So we have to beg Borei Olam, give Parnassah. Mainly to the Avruchim, the people that are trying to do tshuva, Baalei tshuva, help them. Bachelors, people that it's hard for them to get married, to have kids. It's a huge test in this generation. This is why. And listen, Rabbi Say, there is something that nothing can break it. If there is a group that it is united, if people are together doing something together, there is nothing that can break that. Because the Yetzer Hara is one. And the group, when they're holding hands, they become to be a force. They become to be a group. They can win that Yetzer Hara. So if we have to beat the Yetzer Hara, if we have such a wonderful group, and all of the groups of Am Yisrael, if they're bonding themselves together, if indeed what they do, we're davening on ourselves and on our friends, it's helping so much. Think that you can do 10 minutes on yourself a day. You're davening. How much are you going to daven on yourself? But if there is another friend, or all of the group, 30 people, davening on the group 10 minutes a day, on that group, on Am Yisrael, on that group, daven 10 minutes a day, you have hours on each and every one of us. If I'm going to daven generally on all of that group, so I'm davening on you, and I'm davening on you, and I'm davening on you, so everyone have 10 minutes on himself daily. And if 30 people are doing it, only Tzvi can give us the answer. How much is gonna be?
300 minutes.
Times 10?
How many hours?
I don't know.
5 hours.
Take it. Oh, you have a contest.
There's this little. Alright.
He was a philosophy major, I was a science major.
In the year.
He knows the Torah, I know the science.
I don't know the Torah.
So, this is the power of a group. This is the power of a group. The power of Am Yisrael is all of the power of Am Yisrael. It's when Am Yisrael are together, when Am Yisrael are united, this is the power that we have. When Am Yisrael is separated, we don't have no power. That's when we're gonna get.